Hi, welcome back to my channel. I know I've been doing a lot of videos lately, so I guess I found some time to do some updates and something different. This video is actually for an update about us living in Germany. Um, in September, we'll be here 1 year. We came here September 11th, I want to say, or 12th, somewhere around there. And my husband came the end of October. I think it was like Halloween, so the 31st of October. So, update. My husband, when he first came, we ran around, we had to go to Einwohnermeldeamt. We had to give him like a social security number. It's like a Rentenversicherungsnumber, that's what it's called. He got one right away too. We had to go to Ausländerbehörde, that is like for immigrants. So we went there, we talked to them, they asked us why he wants to stay here. We explained it's for Familienzusammenführung. That means to keep our family together. So they told us, okay, he should do the course. So we talked to two different people. One person said, yeah, he can't stay here if he doesn't pass the B1 classes. And the other person said because he has a German child, because our son is dual citizen, that he doesn't need to do it, but it would be good to do. So, of course, he wanted to do it either way. So, but we had to wait for the Aufenthaltstitel. That's like kind of like a green card, I guess, for Germany. It's not really like a visa because it doesn't expire yet. Like it expires like in 2020 or something like that, but we just have to like tell him he wants to stay longer. As far as I know, after that he gets like a 10-year or something like that, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'll update you guys as soon as I know. So we had to wait for that. They so I didn't know how long it's gonna take because my green card in America took like, I think I applied for it in April and end of November I received it. Like it took forever and it cost so much money. So here we didn't pay anything at all. And we applied for it in November, like the 2nd of November or something like that. And December it was ready, but we never received it. So when I called them, I'm like, hey, I like called like mid-January. And I was like, hey, do you guys know how long it's gonna take? Because he wants to be in the next class. And they told me, oh yeah, sorry, we forgot to call you. The card has been here since like the beginning of December. I'm like, well, great. Like I left my phone number, I left my address, like they had all my information to get a hold of us. But whatever. So we went, picked it up the next day, went to the Volkshochschule, to the school here, talked to them. They told us, okay, this is what it's gonna cost. It was like 4,000 or something like that, and we're like, okay, we can't afford this. We heard that there's a way for it to be paid for, so we filled out all the paperwork. The lady from the school sent it in. They wrote us like, I don't know, like 3 weeks later or something like that from there saying, hey, we need more paperwork. Which the next day we right away went back to the school, dropped it off, they made copies, sent it away, and then we waited. So it took so long. So she asked me, hey, do you want your husband to start in the March class? And I said no, because we don't know yet if it's being paid for or not. And if it's not, then we might have to wait a little bit longer for him to start. So she's like, oh, okay, I understand. So we went to the job center, did all that stuff. He actually found like a internship, like a practicums place where he could have started, and if he was good they would have taken him to work there full time, but the job center didn't let him. So when you're with the job center, they have to sign off on it because of like insurance reasons, and they said no, we're not signing it, he needs to do his school first. Which makes absolutely no sense, because if somebody already has a job and then add school later, it's so much better. He's making money for the family, we can maybe get off of job center, and you know what I mean, like it made no sense. So we're like, okay, whatever. So then we got a letter in March from the job center, and they're like talking about like a penalty because my husband didn't go to the German course. And I was like, what are you guys talking about? We didn't sign up for anything. So turns out that apparently they don't communicate in the school, and they put his name down for the March class and then said, well, you didn't show up. Well, we didn't sign anything. We didn't sign up for the class. So I went to the school and I tried to explain it. Well, the lady that works there, she was out for 6 weeks. So she was 2 weeks she was sick, 2 weeks she was on vacation, and then she was sick for 2 weeks again. And then it took me 6 weeks to get a hold of her. And then she was at work for like 3 days, and then she was out again. And that like constantly. So you could never reach anybody. And then when I tried to talk to anybody else about it, they're like, oh yeah, you have to wait until she comes back. I'm like, this is so ridiculous. How is one person supposed to do all of this and she's never there? She's always sick or on vacation apparently. So might as well close it down, right? Because it just absolutely ridiculous. I cannot understand that. So finally got a hold of somebody, explained it to them. They're like, oh, okay. Oh, and you guys got approved. I'm like, oh, well, shit. Thank you for letting us know, like months later. So they actually started another class in June. So that was the next problem. Because, so we found out like what, 3 weeks before? Yeah, 3 weeks before he started his classes. So it's in the mornings, Monday through Friday in the mornings, right? Our son, for the kindergarten spot, I applied end of September, beginning of October when I first came here. And because we live in the state Rheinland-Pfalz, it's free to go to kindergarten here. You just have to pay for the food. So I had to put him on a list. So I put him on a list at like a few kindergartens. And just the ones that could take me like within a year. So they told me, oh, okay, so September, October is like the earliest. I was like, all right, that sucks, but all right. And then when we found out my husband is going to go the 1st of June to school, and I'm working full time, I'm like, well, how are we going to do it? So we went back, I talked to Job Center, I'm like, hey, this is the situation. And they're like, well, no, you're not allowed to go down on hours because we're going to give you less money. And I mean, I'm the only one working, like, we need the help, you know what I mean? I don't make that much money, but I'm the only one working. So yeah, that was really frustrating. I just remember I cried because I was so frustrated. So they told me go to Jugendamt. Maybe they can give you like, it's called Tagesmutter, like a day mother, that can watch the kid for a little while until the kid goes to like kindergarten while we're at work or in school. So I talked to the lady there, and I guess the person that worked there before like quit or left or whatever. So they had somebody in there like temporary, and she was very, very rude. So I just hate dealing with rude people. So she told me, oh yeah, for school we don't do the day mother. I'm like, well, I'm in a situation like I don't know what else to do. My mom works, my sister works, and she just had a baby. Like my sister is now not working anymore, but because of the baby, just temporary. But still, like, I just like, I don't know what to do. So I left. I talked to some more people, and they're like, no, that's not true what she's telling you. Go back there. So I went back there again, and I kept bugging, and then she finally looked at the paperwork and said, oh yeah, well, let me get you then one. I was like, all right. So she gave me 3 phone numbers to call and see if those people had room for another child, and if they're available during that time. I was like, all right. So I called the first one. They didn't have no more room. I called the second one. They're actually on vacation during the time we actually need them, or like not taking kids or something like that. So called the next one. We had a meeting. How should I say it nicely? It wasn't for us. We looked at the home and everything, and there was like red flags, can't even speak, red flags. So I'm like, oh, I'm freaking out. I don't have no other options. What am I gonna do? And then the next freaking day, like heaven sent, the kindergarten calls and says, hey, somebody jumped off. Do you want to start bringing your child in June? I'm like, yes. June what? So my husband started June 4th and Alex started like June 3rd or 2nd, somewhere around there, but like days before. And you know, here you have to do a Eingewöhnungszeit. That means when the child goes in and then you sit with him maybe for like 5 or 10 minutes, then you get out of the room to see how he reacts, if he's freaking out, if he's playing well with other kids. So during that time, I was allowed to come to work later. So I worked something out where I was closing every night. So I didn't have no early shifts. That I can, like my husband is in school, I go there and then we switch the kid. When I pick him up, they drop me off at work and they go home. Which was hard, but we made it work. Thank God Alex was not acting all crazy and he listened and all this stuff, and he was good with the other children and he wasn't crying. So after 3 weeks, we were completely like, we could leave him alone there for his whole time, which is amazing. We love his kindergarten. The kids are great. The ladies that work there, they're awesome. Alex actually started eating much better there. He sees all the other children eat, so he wants to be part of that. Exciting. So yeah, he goes till 2 p.m., which is great. So Ramon is going to school till December. I think they said they're going to have their B1 test. And then another month after that, so till January, they have to do like a political course. And they said if they don't take part of that or miss that more than 4 days or something like this, they don't get their certificates for the B1. I have to be honest, he's been going there since June, and I know he's like doing great on paper and everything, but even when I speak German to him, he still doesn't understand a lot of the stuff, and I guess the teacher isn't all that. So, but we'll see. We'll just wait and see what happens, and hopefully it will be enough for him to get a job and like to go take care of his own stuff, you know what I mean? I mean, I had to learn it in America too. I used to write down, like, if I called people, because I'd get so nervous, like, I would write stuff down, what I wanted to say, my questions, and I would, like, just read it. So, hopefully he can get to that point too. And Alex has been going since June to kindergarten, which is great. No problems there, and next year he's gonna go to, like, the next group for the older kids, which is awesome. So today was actually his first day in kindergarten with no diaper on, which I'm really excited. I brought extra clothes and underwear and all that stuff. So when my husband picks him up, we'll see if he's wearing different clothes or not and how many pee pants we have. So next point. I wanted to talk about the health insurance here because it was one of the reasons why we wanted to move back to Germany. I don't know if you guys remember my story about when my son had to go to the hospital, and our portion after the insurance paid, or super expensive insurance paid, we still had to pay close to $8,000, which is absolutely ridiculous. And here I wanted to tell a story because I ended up going to the hospital. I'm not going to get into why. But I had to stay 4 days there, and when we got the letter, like a couple weeks later, about what our portion is from that, it is 40 euros. So it's 10 euros per day. What a humongous difference. One thing they did change here, which I didn't know, was medication. Now you do pay some for the medication. Before, like, all your medications were free. So now, like, if I go and pick up some, let's say, I don't even know, like, if I pick up like my vitamins or something like that, I have to pay. But if I pick up like medication at the doctor, because they have like 2 different colors, stuff. Making chicken in a bag for the first time, so I'm like a little nervous that like the apartment will catch fire. But yeah, they have like 2 different pads, like with 2 different colors. One of them is like prescription, so if I get like antibiotics, you know, stuff like that, like my thyroid medication. And the other one is like a different color for like vitamins and like other medication that you just have to pay out of pocket, or like some out of pocket. So they changed that, but it's still better because I pretty much paid for every medication in the US. And they also have a program I found out because I am overweight. I am working on it. If you guys look at some of my videos I just posted, I've been doing the paleo diet. But I actually got, well, I asked about it from the insurance here, if they can help me and my husband lose weight. We would like to see a nutritionist and maybe join a gym. And they actually gave me a form that I had brought with me to my doctor's. He wrote down like my blood pressure, my height and weight, my BMI, like all the information that they recommend me getting on a diet plan. They recommend me working out. And I still haven't brought it back, but I need to, so they can schedule me for an appointment to get some help. And then I get actually like a discount to go to the gym, which is awesome. It's not like super expensive here, but honestly, like every little bit helps because we don't make as much here, which is another funny thing. So me and my husband both worked full time in America. We actually made decent money, but somehow we were still living like paycheck to paycheck. Like car insurance was expensive. The car payments were expensive. The rent was super expensive. Oh my God, don't get me started on like air conditioning, like electricity. We spent so much money. I mean, our bill was like 250 to like 480 a month, and we already had it at like in the 80s, you know what I mean? So it wasn't like we were blasting at like 60 degrees and still paying so much. It's just absolutely ridiculous. So all of that money, just like the groceries, the health insurance, like doctor's visits, like everything was just so expensive. If you wanted to have internet, you know, cable. And here I'm the only one working. We are getting minimal help from the state. Once Ramon can work, I hope we won't need it anymore, because I appreciate the help, but I don't want to like mooch off of anybody, you know what I mean? But right now we really need it. But if I look at like how much money we spend on groceries here, it's half if not less. Everything is just like cheaper, you know what I mean? So it works out better. We're actually able to save some money. There, not so much. we were seriously like living paycheck to paycheck. Here we're still living paycheck to paycheck, but we always have a little bit of a cushion just in case if the car breaks down or we need a new tire, like, you know what I mean, like emergency stuff, which is awesome. So far we do not regret moving to Germany. There's obviously some stuff I do miss, like my husband's family, of course, friends. I miss, some days I actually miss the heat in Arizona. Like while I was there, I was like, oh, I'm so over this, 46 Celsius, like 120 degrees. But some days I really miss it because it rains here quite often, or it's like windy. And when it is hot, it's like miserable because there's like no air conditioning inside the house. And we live upstairs. It's so bad. It's like, you just want to live near the fridge, like open the fridge and like live there. Of course, I miss some of the food. I miss going to IHOP like Sunday mornings, or like in the mornings in general. I miss shopping on Sundays. I hate working on Sundays, but I love shopping on Sundays. I miss like Chili's, Applebee's, Mexican food. I miss the steakhouses. Like the food here is really good, but I feel like because we're living in such a small town, like not such small town, but it is a smaller town, there's not as many options. And now on my diet, it doesn't even matter because I'll just make my food at home. Some stuff is a little bit harder because before it was hard when I came to America because I was like, oh, I don't know what this is. I'm trying to find something that tastes similar as to, you know, something German. And now it's the other way around. I'm like, all right, I'm going to make this meal and I'm trying to find something that tastes similar to something that's American. Like, I loved Pace salsa. And I had a chance to go on Pace and I actually got some. I got like 5 or 6, like those bottles, all gone. All freaking gone. And we got like a couple salsas here and they're just not the same. Like, they make them so freaking spicy. I like mild. I just like it for the taste. And here it's like, oh, salsa, it's a Mexican thing, so it needs to be super spicy. So I can't even eat it. So if you guys have a good substitute or you know how to make it yourself, tell me. I'll make it, I'll buy it, I'll drive. So that's pretty much it. We love taking walks here. We love traveling. We haven't had that much time yet to travel, but I will, after this, put in here where we have been and what we've seen so far. My husband's brother is actually visiting us in September, and we're planning on going to a few different places. Right now, as of right now, we're planning on going to Paris, Luxembourg, Holiday Park, and maybe a couple new castles or something to go check it out. I'm going on vacation. Well, I am on vacation starting Saturday. So I'm going to upload some more videos, and when we're traveling, I am obviously going to record it, of course, and take pictures and share with you guys. So if there's anything else you guys have questions about or are interested, or you want me to make a video about something because you're planning on moving to Germany, or you already moved here, or you're just curious, please let me know. I don't have that many ideas. So yeah, comment below, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll make more videos.
I can feel your heart racing, 'cause everybody knows, yeah, everybody knows. And I can feel your body shaking of every single touch. That's just how it goes. That's just how it goes. Alright.